If there's one thing that General Hospital has taught fans over the decades, it's that no one in Port Charles stays innocent for long. But even among the city's tangled web of moral grayness, few have experienced the emotional whiplash quite like Michael Corinthos. Once the sweet, golden boy of the Corinthos family, Michael has evolved into something darker, moodier, and for many viewers, infinitely more interesting. As of late, Michael's brooding stares and stormy silences have become almost as iconic as Sonny's coffee empire. He's a man torn between legacy and conscience, loyalty and betrayal. Fans can't stop debating whether this new version of Michael, haunted, calculating, and a little cold, is a step toward growth or a sign of self-destruction. Either way, one thing's clear. GH's broody, moody Michael is commanding attention. And honestly, who's not here for it? From boy to battle-hardened man. To understand this transformation, we need to rewind the reel. Michael's life has been one long crash course in trauma. The son of Carly Corinthos and A.J. Quartermain, but raised by Sonny, Michael's childhood was steeped in mob secrets, danger, and complicated loyalties. He's been kidnapped, shot, manipulated, and betrayed before he could even rent a car. He was a Quartermain by birth, but a Corinthos by blood loyalty, a dual identity that has shaped every decision he's made. Michael once stood for morality and decency, often the voice of reason amid Port Charles chaos. But that idealism didn't survive the weight of constant loss. Losing Morgan, being lied to by Sonny and Carly, and discovering the depths of deceit around Willow and Nina have left scars deeper than anyone realizes. The Michael we see today isn't just angry, he's tired. And in soap opera language, tired often translates to brooding intensity. The quiet storm of Michael Corinthos. There's something captivating about the way Chad Duell, who's played Michael for over a decade, delivers this version of the character. He doesn't need grand speeches or over-the-top confrontations. His silence does the talking. His eyes carry the weight of generations of Corinthos decisions, some heroic, most bloody. When Michael turns on that quiet, simmering glare, you can feel the tension ripple through the screen. It's the look of a man who's constantly calculating whether love is worth the cost of betrayal. And that's what makes this current arc so compelling. Michael's wrestling with himself. Does he still want to be his father's son? Or has he finally seen too much to play the dutiful heir any longer? That inner battle has fans both frustrated and fascinated. Because while Michael's moodiness can be exasperating, it's also deeply human. Willow's Nina, and the war within. Let's talk about Michael's relationships, because as any soap fan knows, love is never just love in Port Charles. It's war, wrapped in passion, drenched in betrayal, and often served with a side of family drama. Michael's love story with Willow has been one of GH's most heartfelt romances. From fake marriage to real devotion, they've faced cancer, custody battles, and the constant shadow of Nina Reeves. But now that Willow's illness is in remission, their domestic bliss feels fragile. Why? Because Michael isn't at peace. Even as Willow preaches forgiveness, Michael can't let go of his resentment toward Nina, her lies, her interference, her manipulations. And his simmering anger threatens to burn down everything he's built. There's something tragic about watching Michael try to be the husband Willow deserves while still plotting vengeance in the background. He wants to be good, but his Corinthos DNA keeps whispering otherwise. Every scene between Michael and Nina crackles with unspoken fury. Every moment with Willow reveals how far he strayed from the gentle man she fell for. And that tension, that's storytelling gold. The Sonny factor. Of course, nothing defines Michael's life more than his relationship with Sonny Corinthos. Once his hero, then his greatest disappointment, Sonny represents everything Michael both loves and hates. Their bond has survived unimaginable blows, betrayals, mob wars, and moral divides, but the cracks are still there. Michael tried to destroy his father once by secretly gathering evidence against him. Even though he backed down, the act itself changed everything. Sonny forgave, but the trust was never the same. Now, when Michael sits across from Sonny, there's always that flicker of unease. It's love and resentment, admiration and judgment, all tangled together. Sonny sees a reflection of his younger self, while Michael sees the man he never wanted to become. It's Shakespearean, really. A father and son circling each other in an endless dance of loyalty and betrayal. Michael's moral gray zone. What makes this moody Michael era so irresistible is how morally complex he's become. Gone is the predictable hero. This Michael operates in the gray, strategic, guarded, and willing to bend his ethics to protect what he loves. He's learned from Sonny, from Carly, from the Quartermaines. He's a hybrid of every family influence, ruthless when necessary, but still aching for redemption. Fans have started comparing him to a young Jason Morgan, another man whose quiet intensity and conflicted loyalty defined an era of General Hospital. But Michael is Jason. He's more emotional, less detached, and that makes his fall or rise all the more personal. Because unlike Jason, Michael still feels everything, and that's what tears him apart. The audience reaction, love it or loathe it. Not everyone's on board with the new Michael. Some longtime viewers miss the lighter, idealistic version, the one who smiled more, who stood for justice rather than revenge. But others, especially those who love a good anti-hero arc, are eating it up. Social media is buzzing with fans calling him Hot Angry Michael, Corinthos 2, or even Prince of Pain. Why? Because watching Michael struggle between his light and dark sides feels real. It mirrors the messy choices we all make, just heightened, dramatized, and delivered with soap-level intensity. And let's be honest, broody Michael adds a layer of emotional complexity to Port Charles that the show desperately needs. What comes next? So what's ahead for our favorite brooding heir? Rumors suggest that Michael might be stepping into a more powerful role, perhaps even taking the reins of the Corinthos Empire if Sonny falters. That possibility could push him further into darkness, or give him the chance to redefine what the Corinthos legacy stands for. Will he finally forgive Nina? Will his love for Willow anchor him, or will his resentment consume him? One thing's certain, Michael's story is far from over. And whether he becomes Port Charles, next hero, or its most reluctant villain, Chad Duell's layered performance ensures fans won't look away. Final thoughts, the beauty of brooding. Broody Michael isn't just a phase, it's an evolution. It's the natural consequence of a man who's seen too much, loved too hard, and lost too often. He's the product of every lie, every secret, every heartbreak that defines life in Port Charles. And if that makes him moody, so be it. Because in a world of smiling villains and smooth-talking mobsters, there's something magnetic about a man who wears his pain honestly. So, who's here for Moody Michael? We are. Every last conflicted, captivated one of us.